I will say this, and I think it'll surprise people. The fact that his bond...
Hold on. Sir.
What's
I have to stop you with the camera because I can see you. So do me a favor. Don't pull it out again.
And The View, you don't need to find Trumpers. You need to fire your race baiters.
Yeah.
You need to fire the two races. You've had people. You had a McCain on there. You've had people on there before, and you ran them off. Mm-hmm. So the racist ones who want to stick to this, Whoopi and Sonny, and was it Bette Midler? What's her name? Yeah, broke-ass Bette Midler.
Tyrus just did the unthinkable. He went straight for The View and didn't hold back for a second. Even Whoopi Goldberg wasn't off limits this time. It was like watching a heavyweight bulldoze into a fancy tea party and send every cup flying. The scene turned wild, dramatic, and unbelievably funny. You won't believe what came out of his mouth, or how Whoopi's face said it all when he did. Grab your popcorn because this showdown is pure beautiful chaos with a side of comedy gold. But seriously, did Tyrus just finish off The View with one jaw-dropping comment that nobody saw coming?
Just remember, too, the Iranians literally throw gay people off of buildings. They don't adhere to basic human rights.
Listen, here's the thing. Let's not do that, because if we start with that, we have been known in this country to tie gay folks to the car.
I'm sorry, but where the Iranian regime is today in 2025 is nothing compared to the United States.
Keep hanging black people. So
it is not even the same. I couldn't step during this.
Tyrus, the weird thing about The View was that Dylan Mulvaney was the most feminine person there.
Yes, he was. Somebody.
Before we dive into the madness, smash that like button and hit subscribe. You seriously can't miss what's coming next. It all started like any ordinary morning on The View. 5 voices fighting for dominance, coffee mugs trembling as if they knew what was about to happen, and Whoopi Goldberg sitting there looking like she's witnessed every disaster twice over. You could almost feel the tension stretching through the air before the cameras even started rolling. Then came Tyrus. Not in person, but his words crashed into that studio harder than a truth bomb dropped in a room full of echoes and egos.
But it's only in America. Can a black person sit on a TV show getting paid millions and millions of dollars to have the floor and can say, it can interrupt people because she interrupted her.
Yeah.
And if according to her, life was like in Iran, it was for black people, her interrupting and speaking in public would have led to a stoning.
Yeah.
Like the ignorance, you live in a country where you might feel a certain way, but here's the one thing about America that makes it different than anyone else. You have an opportunity, even as dumb as the
He didn't shout, didn't roll his eyes. He just did what Tyrus always does best. With calm precision, he tore down the circus using the same relaxed energy someone would use to order lunch. The man radiated pure "I've seen it all" confidence. And that's exactly what The View couldn't handle. When Tyrus speaks, he doesn't chase after drama. He flips the script so hard that the drama ends up chasing him instead. It was quiet destruction. And it was glorious.
Hire them and bring people in. Maybe you could get McCain to come back. She was a Republican, but every show and every break, she was nearly in tears because she was being attacked. So the problem is that you have to go after the racist people. And if the CEO goes, you know what? I'm not going to allow a woman on my show or man that will go after white America and talk about them like dogs. That doesn't represent our ideals or values for anyone. And get rid of those people. And this will clear up real quick. So do you have to actually look in the mirror and clean up your own backyard and get the racist people out? Because that's who you allowed in. You allowed black racist on TV who could just go all day and say anything on.
And The View. Oh, they went after him like a bad idea that just refuses to die. The show has built an entire empire on interruptions, contradictions, and acting like they've just uncovered world-shaking truths. Every weekday feels less like a talk show and more like an emotional wrestling match. WWE with coffee cups and barely a trace of logic. It's loud, messy, and gloriously predictable chaos every single time.
She has an opportunity tomorrow. They won't fire her over that. No. She'll have an opportunity tomorrow to come on and fix it. Will she? She won't. But that's the thing about this country. Black, white, gay, straight, short, tall. Everyone's going to get hit with something, but the beauty about this country is there's always an opportunity for you to better yourself. So shame on you, Whoopi. Play the black card somewhere else because don't work here in America.
You know the irony?
And then there's Whoopi, the fearless referee in this arena of chaos. She's calm in the storm, until the storm dares to disagree with her. Then the peace vanishes, and suddenly it's full-blown Category 5 judgment time. She gives that signature stare, you know the one that says you're about to regret every word you just said. It's fierce, it's legendary, and it's pure, unfiltered Whoopi energy at its peak.
And I guess lo and behold, they forgot that there's a lot of people at home, white people at home during the day that are not watching your show anymore. So just clean it up.
Yeah, you know, Emily, could you imagine yourself on The View as like taking that job? Let's say they find something really ugly in your past, you get fired from Fox. That could happen, by the way. No. I never burned those photos. But I mean, could you do that?
I get very sensitive.
Tyrus saw right through the act. He called it out with that cool heavyweight smirk, like a man who's already memorized the entire play before it even begins. He pointed out how The View can preach about unity one moment, then split everyone into teams faster than you can say commercial break. It was sharp, fearless, and dripping with truth. The kind of reality check no one on that stage was ready to face.
Sure. All that, and the price of butter. Sonny gets the game ball. If it wasn't for her, asking that question, it might have been a...
The real brilliance was in the delivery. No shouting, no wild theatrics, just razor-sharp humor and truth so clean it could slice through steel. While the View's panel acted like the guardians of modern wisdom, Tyrus treated their self-importance like a bad sketch from a forgotten comedy show. He leaned back, metaphorically of course, and asked, "Really? This is what counts as conversation now?" The irony was delicious. The View tries to sound like the voice of reason, yet every episode feels like a chaotic group chat that escaped control. When Tyrus dissected their madness, it wasn't just funny, it was brutally revealing. He compared their energy to people who claim to love debate, but only when everyone agrees with them. You know the type. They call it discussion until someone disagrees. Then suddenly it becomes dangerous rhetoric. Tyrus didn't need volume. His tone carried more power than a megaphone, and that's exactly why shows like The View can't handle him. He doesn't play their game, doesn't beg for applause, and his dry truth hits like a spark that sets the whole room on fire. People joke that Tyrus caused more chaos with one calm sentence than an entire season of their debates. Whoopi, of course, wasn't thrilled, but honestly, you can't guilt trip someone who's completely immune to nonsense.
I love... Whoopi's right. I mean, it's been rough for us. I mean, you saw what just happened to me in the last segment. I'm trying to talk, and all the white people are like, "Oh, it's Tyrus. I can make a phone call." You know? And it's...
How did that make you feel?
I felt very black.
Did you feel black?
Yeah.
It's worth Tyrus. Malice just started snapping
By the way,
his fingers for you.
Thank God black people don't do that in audiences.
Yes, yeah. No, we just talk the whole time and tell you how to do your show better.
Tyrus carries that calm, seasoned energy of someone who's seen it all and refuses to be dragged into TV drama. It's like he's saying, you can't cancel me. I've already walked away from the circus. And that absolutely drives Whoopi wild. Her expression was classic, part authority, part disbelief. Like someone explaining the same story for decades and still not understanding why nobody's buying it. But the sting came from how respectful he was. He didn't yell, didn't mock. He simply exposed the absurdity with quiet precision. He treated their seriousness like a balloon begging for a pin, and pop, it burst spectacularly. He pointed out how The View can spend half an hour arguing about things that don't even matter, all while pretending it's life-changing TV. It's like watching philosophers at brunch, but instead of Aristotle, everyone's quoting Twitter. The longer he spoke, the clearer it became. This wasn't about petty drama, it was about calling out the echo chamber hiding behind words like empowerment and justice. Whoopi naturally took it personally. How could she not? Because in that moment, Tyrus wasn't mocking her. He was describing the entire essence of The View, a place where the loudest voice always claims to be the smartest. But Tyrus, calm as a monk in a thunderstorm, refused to bite back. He just smiled, metaphorically of course, and reminded everyone that real confidence never needs a co-host to speak for it.
Oh, nothing really comes to mind. I was like, Ching, listen, they're bitter, they're angry, they're entitled. They also should be, this should have been a reset for everyone who pushed lies and misinformation for the last, they call them Hitler, they call these things, America rejected them. And instead of coming back and saying, we lied, they instead are now doubling down. So let her keep doing it, because if she keeps that up, we're going to keep getting the Senate and probably the House and the White House, because people see right through your lies. So keep doing what you're doing. Game ball to Sonny.
The internet absolutely exploded. Some said Tyrus went too far, while others praised him for finally saying what everyone else was too afraid to admit. But the funniest twist? The View didn't even realize they had just proven his point in real time. The very next day, the panel couldn't help themselves. They played the victims of unfair criticism, twisting logic into knots to defend their chaos as organized conversation. It was like watching someone argue that their cat could run for mayor. Amusing but completely insane. Tyrus knew exactly what he was doing. He dropped his words like breadcrumbs and let their reactions serve as the punchlines. While Whoopi tried to hold her composure with that signature "we don't owe explanations" attitude, the internet wasn't buying it for a second. Every clip, every glare, every contradiction was dissected 100 times over. That's the irony of The View. They love dishing out the truth, but crumble when someone serves it back. Tyrus reminded everyone that real confidence doesn't demand applause. It just exists on its own. He exposed their version of tolerance, where agreeing with the panel means acceptance, but disagreeing means exile. He showed how they treat different opinions like they're contagious, and that's why his calm roast hit harder than any screaming match ever could.
Next, Joy's gonna say she's never heard of carbs. Seriously, her denial of knowing me is as believable as her red hair. But obsession? I mean, come on, Joy. Where would you even get that idea? Like Joy Behar's face, it's looking worse and worse by the day. More full of crap than Joy Behar after a night of scotch and Taco Bell. Her being named Joy is like me being named ugly. Joy wasn't there on the show. Apparently Mondays are her.
You could practically hear the collective gasp as reality hit. Maybe, just maybe, the Emperor wasn't wearing any clothes. Whoopi's reaction was pure cinematic gold. The deep sigh, the head tilt, that signature, "here we go again," look that screams silent judgment. But beneath that calm exterior was visible irritation, because for once someone had called them out and done it better than they could handle. The genius behind Tyrus's roast was its restraint. He didn't chase the spotlight. He simply let the truth do the talking. Every calm jab landed like a thunderbolt, sharper and stronger than any dramatic rant ever could. Suddenly, their confident speeches sounded shaky, their laughter just a little too rehearsed. Tyrus pulled off the impossible. He made The View look small without even raising his voice. With his signature dry humor, he joked that The View's greatest accomplishment was turning daytime TV into jury duty, an endless sentence disguised as conversation. The best part, he didn't even have to name names. Everyone knew exactly who he meant. That's when you know the truth hits deep, when denial isn't even an option anymore. And just like that, the internet went wild, editing clips of Whoopi's iconic eye rolls right next to Tyrus's calm, deadly smirk.
Now to some news. The feral monsters of The View say they've never heard of you-know-who. True, the show that makes mornings hell claim that my name doesn't ring a bell. It's time for...
Our view on The View. Ugh.
Yeah, the witch's coven finally shows me some lovin'. Yesterday on The View, yours truly was the subject of conversation. Apparently, the broads have no idea who I am, or so they say. Hit it, Gladys.
The contrast was pure perfection. It was like watching a raging storm crash helplessly against an unbothered mountain. Even people who never cared about The View started tuning in just to witness the chaos unfold live. That's when you know a roast hit its mark. When it accidentally revives the very show it mocks, just not in the way they hoped. By the end of the week, it wasn't about Tyrus anymore. more. It was about what he revealed, the fake outrage, the constant contradictions, the we speak for everyone arrogance that somehow always forgets half the crowd. He turned their spotlight into a mirror, and the View hated what they saw staring back. Whoopi tried to stay calm with that trademark balance of zen and fury, but her tone cracked. It was obvious Tyrus had struck a nerve. He reminded them that real conversations don't need cue cards or dramatic sighs. Sometimes all it takes is someone bold enough to say, "You sound ridiculous." The ultimate mic drop came when he summed up their whole act without even breaking a sweat, calling the View exactly what it is, a caffeine-fueled circle of contradictions wrapped in moral superiority. Whoopi's expression said everything. She didn't need words because the silence that followed hit harder than any rebuttal ever could. It was that rare TV moment when someone outside the bubble popped it wide open and everyone inside pretended nothing cracked.
Jesse was a 7.
Joy Behar calls her a 10. I mean, how dare she objectify a woman with a sexist rating system, but it's such a typical thing from a 1.5.
That's what makes Tyrus's calmness so dangerous. It forces everyone to stop, listen, and face themselves whether they like it or not. The View tried to pretend nothing had happened, doing what they always do best, acting unbothered while the world watches the cracks spread wider. But this time, the illusion failed. The charm was gone, and beneath all that talk of empowerment and enlightenment, there was nothing left but static noise. Tyrus strolled through their storm like a man walking through light rain, untouched and unshaken, proving that sometimes the strongest voice is the one that refuses to yell. His roast wasn't cruel. It was crystal clear, and deep down, Whoopi knew it. Somewhere out there, Tyrus had calmly dismantled her empire with the precision of a man too cool to even celebrate the win. That's what made it the perfect ending. No cheers, no applause, just silence. The kind that screams louder than any standing ovation. In the grand comedy of daytime TV, sometimes the funniest punchline is the one that leaves everyone speechless. And Tyrus didn't need to say another word. He just let the truth linger, smirking quietly as the chaos unfolded in his shadow.
It doesn't matter whether you're a comedian or just a regular old person who goes about their day. You have every right. It's your birthright as an American. If you're not happy with what's going on, you're allowed to say it. If you don't like how things are going, you're allowed to say it. It is your birthright. That's part of what makes you an American. It's part of what makes us different than everybody else. And we acknowledged all of those Republicans who recognized that it's not a right or left.
They just couldn't drop it. The View always needs the last word, even when it's the wrong one. So like clockwork, the next episode opened with that fake calm they always wear before the storm hits. You know the look, tight smiles, mugs raised high, pretending they didn't spend the whole night doom scrolling through Tyrus's quotes. Whoopi started things off with that long, theatrical pause she uses right before she educates someone. Except nobody asked for a lecture this time. They tossed around vague lines like certain commentators and some people out there, as if the audience didn't already know exactly who rocked their world. That's how you know Tyrus got under their skin, when an entire panel starts speaking in code. Meanwhile, Tyrus was probably somewhere sipping coffee, completely unaware of the chaos he'd unleashed on daytime TV. The harder they tried to act above it all, the more hilarious it became. The more they claimed not to care, the clearer it was that they definitely did. The View practically turned into its own parody. 5 people loudly insisting they're calm while spending 10 whole minutes proving otherwise.
Here's Joy Behar talking about refusing to share a kidney.
I find my friends bizarre. With a Trump supporter. I won't give them a kidney, but I could be friends with them.
Hey, Joy, it's a kidney, not a pizza. Of course, she's kidding at first, but then she goes on to explain the moral foundation for her resentment, and it's the same one that drives all deadly ideology.
Tyrus would have absolutely loved it, not because it proved him right, but because it showed his entire point unfolding live for everyone to see. The View simply can't let anything go. It feeds on conflict the way toddlers crave attention, loud, messy, and impossible to ignore. You could see Whoopi wanting to unleash one of her classic "I've seen it all" speeches, but even she looked exhausted this time. Maybe she finally realized that you can't outsmart a man who fights with humor instead of anger. It's a battle you lose before it begins. That's when it hit everyone watching. Tyrus didn't destroy the View by attacking it, he dismantled it by staying calm. By the end of the week, they acted like the whole drama was beneath them. But you can't unring a bell, and you can't unhear the truth once it's out there. Every time they mentioned respectful dialogue, all people could think about was Tyrus's calm roast echoing in the background. Their biggest mistake wasn't firing back. It was proving his entire point while trying to deny it. They turned into the punchline of a joke they didn't even realize they were in. And Tyrus, still calm, still collected, still undefeated in the art of the effortless takedown, because sometimes the loudest sound in the room is the silence everyone can hear.